Scaling is a big issue in all programs if you don't know how to do it, and in Nomad 1.33 we just got a measure tool, and the measure tool allows us to take dimension readings from a model. Now this video will go through what the initial scaling is like in Nomad and how you can get around that if you want a different scale, and how to use this tool to prepare your models ready to go for slicing for 3D print. So one of the new features that in 1.33 that came in, and something that I haven't really looked at much, is this one over here on the left, which is called the measure tool. Now, it took me a minute to try this because there's no documentation for it yet, but I'll show you how I've been using it and how it can be really useful for you if you're a 3D print enthusiast. So on screen, we've just got a default sphere with a matte cap on it. So we'll change that to something else. So we'll use one of the primitives. So we'll bring in a box and we'll validate it, which means we can edit it, and we'll switch here at the bottom, we'll switch on wireframe, and we've got the default there. So as you can see, it's just a cube. That sphere now, we can just delete it. We don't need it. And in fact, I think what I'll do is I'll change the matte cap to something where you can see it a little bit clearer, something like a white or a, let me just find something where it's really clear. Yeah, actually just the white will do for now. Okay, so we've got a box and we want to measure it. So first of all, what we do, we need to do a couple of things really. So come up to camera, and then first of all, what we'll do is, there is a camera saved in there, so I'll delete that. So we need to be on orthographic, which I'm on, and then we need to be on snap view, and that means I'm snapped to the front. So even if I move it around like this, it's still snapped in what's called an orthographic view, so straight down with no perspective. And then we'll add a view. And that means now, if I want to go back and get to that exact view that I've been, I just go back to camera and just hit view and it brings it back. Now, if you notice as well, this panel, or any panel, literally just shuts after I've worked on it. So if you want to keep a panel open while you're doing something a lot, like I am going to do now, if you come up here on the top right and you use the Nomad panel here, you can stick on the close panel on interaction, or you can turn that off. So if you turn that off, now when you open a panel, it'll stay open for the duration and you have to actually close it. So that can be useful if you're doing something quite repetitive within one panel, which I'm about to do. So with that on and with the square on, we can go now to either snap view or back to that, that I've just added one by mistake. You can go to that view and it snaps it completely as we would want it. Now, what we need to do is come up to the tools, and I like them in there. So if you double click it, you'll get them in this little square in the corner, which I prefer. And we'll go to the measure tool. And now all you simply do is you have to click on one place on the model and then move it to another place. So I'll give you an example. I'll start here, and I've got a line now. Hopefully you can see that. And I'm now just going to drag it and let it go on the other side. And now you can see I've made a big mistake there in that I had a white material. So you can't actually even see what that number is because it's got the material that I chose in error, apparently. So I've just changed it to the matte cap that's got the black with the white outline. And now you can see that there's a number. And it actually says 0.9927. So that's virtually 1. Now, 1 what? What does that mean? So I had to do something else to find out what that scale means. And what it actually means is 1 millimeter. So if you were to export this, you're going to get something incredibly tiny. So what does that look like? So let's just do a few more experiments with the measure tool. So instead of going back to that panel and snapping, or going back to that view, let's keep it like this. So in a position that's in a 3/4 view. Go back to your measure tool, and if you that initial measure tool will just disappear the minute you click and do another one. So if we do it diagonally like that, you can see it's 1.39, and it will stay with the model. And that should be exactly the same. Now, I haven't found a way to snap this yet. There could well be, but I haven't found it yet. because it would be really nice just to snap to vertices. So we'll find that, or we'll request that if it's not in the program. But that's giving me already a good idea. Now that says 1.3 millimeters. So again, it's way too small for anything that I would need. So for me to use this in my 3D print, I would have had to scale it by a factor of at least 10, possibly 100 if depending on the printer that you're going to print on. So that's how the tool functions, and you can just draw arbitrarily on the model, and it will just snap to the face. I think it's using vertex as a locator. It seems to be, although if you look very closely, you can see that you can draw between two faces. So maybe it's it might be using the surface rather than the points. Again, I don't know. Obviously, I don't code this, so I don't know. So where do we go from here? Now we know we can do that. One thing that you have to be careful of is if you duplicate that box and you move one of them along, and you were to say, oops, I've scaled it, so move it to the side and move that there. If I was to now do the measure across 2, you'll see what I mean in a moment. So if I was to go measure from, let me just get it, measure tool, that corner, oops, moved it. That's why that interaction button I find quite useful, because if I move off, that's all that stops me doing that. So if I go from this corner to this corner, what's that actually doing? Well, it's actually doing that. So it's going from one model to another model through, the path is direct from the points that it touched. So if you've got multiple models, you have to be careful. It's not going to give you, you may be thinking that distance diagonally across there is 2.9. Well, it's not. It's 2.9 from that front corner to that front corner. So just be mindful of that. So let's open up a file and we'll have a look at how this works practically in the real world. So we'll go and we'll have a look at, I've already brought them in, so I don't need to import. We'll just go open, and I have what we call a scaled file here. So what's this? Let's have a look. So this is a project we're working on for a future video. And this is it's part of the anatomy course that we're about to run for superheroes, like basic stylized superheroes. So this guy is going to get printed, and I need to be more exact if I'm going to use Nomad to print. So if you see underneath, ignore the character for a moment and look at the base that we're on. So this is an Elegoo Mars 120/68 by 155. Now that is a default template that I use. I'm going to give them away in future 3D print videos so that you can use them in your work. So I've got one scaled for all the major printers. So I've got FDM printers like the Ender Pro and a couple of MakerBots, and I've got scaled ones for Mars Elegoo, Mars Saturn, Formlabs, and for the things like the Peopoly Phenom, the big 3D printers. We've got a Peopoly Phenom that we use, so we obviously did that one first. And we have a scaled file for those exact reasons. Now I'll just put the wireframe on. You'll see it's a very, very basic model with basic text, and it's not to be printed, it's just to be deleted. It's only for scaling. But what that represents is the size of the bed of the Elegoo Mars. So you can basically reliably bring any model in now, and you can then use this as your scaling template. And I've put a marker in here that tells you on the like a flag at the top that shows the upper extent of the bed. So basically you can print this wide, this high, and this, basically all the way up. So you've got height, depth, and width is what I'm trying to say. So let's bring that character back and let's do some measuring. So we'll turn the wireframe off and we'll say, let's go back to our camera view and just make sure we've got, close interaction is on. So it's not going to disappear now. So this panel on the left will stay, which is what we want. So we've now got our model, and we want to switch to our measure tool if we haven't already, and let's just measure it from side to this point here. And I'm just going to show you it incorrectly first of all. So I'm going to go from top to bottom, and you can see it says 1.53. Now that is accurate because this peg or this flag is at the front. If that model here, if that part of the model were at the back, and you'll see what I mean in a moment, like so, and I went all the way from the top to the bottom. Oops. Just remembered that view wasn't set for this model, was it? It was set for the smaller one. So we'll set a new view. So we'll bring it in the right place. We'll go snap the view and we'll create a new view. So that's now our second view. Now we go back to measure and we'll bring it from there all the way down to there. And now we get that problem that I told you about. So that was seeing the top of that model, the flagpole, and the bottom of the base. So again, that was the issue I was trying to explain to you. But look at the number, it's 166 now. So what does that mean? Well, that's now scaled correctly to 166 millimeters. So let's just undo that and bring the flag back to the front. So that now means that I know that this is 15 centimeters high. And that's perfectly accurate for the print size bed that I'm doing. And that means, and as you can see by the number on the Elegoo Mars thing, it says 120 by 68 by 155, and 155 is the height. So because we brought this in scaled correctly for the relevant printer, everything in the scene is now scaled correctly. So you may want to scale it still. Once you've exported things, you may still want to change it. But what the what the measure tool helps you with is this kind of thing that I'm about to do now. So what I might want to know is, for example, let's snap the view with the button here at the bottom, which is even quicker than the interaction. I might want to know how tall is the head. So I can literally just drag from the chin to the top. Make sure you don't go over. And you can see there, it's done the angle thing, like I said, but it's given you the number, the readout of 18. What I do to make that more accurate is I just slide this item across, and then I would go measure from, just gone off the snap, so let me just bring it around the other way, like so. And then I would say measure from the top to, I know, the lower part of the chin, and that'll give me a readout there of 16.88. So just by having a straight edge, it means I'm not snapping on something that's rounded, so I can use it quite well that way. You can just basically just do it on the body like so. So if you just want quick readouts about how long would that arm be if I was going to print it, well, it looks like it's about 57. So that means it's, you know, it's just short of 57 millimeters long. How wide are the hips? It's going to be 19 there. Widest part of the legs, 24. And all of the relevant sizing that you may want to do. Bearing in mind that if it's going to go round something, it won't. The dimension isn't going to go round. Obviously, it's going to give you a straight dimension, and that's what these are useful for. Either the lower bed, you can bring that up and use it as a scaling tool. So you could say there, and then you could scale across the bed itself, or you could you could bring it up to the head. And you can, again, you could go scale it across the front here. So it's just a useful set of tools to be able to understand the scaling. Now, the scaling here is real world 4 3D print, which is what we've described. So what was that thing going on with the 1 millimeter when we started this? So if I just bring in now, go back to an open, so go to project, and then instead of adding, what we'll do is we'll just bring in a default item. So we'll just bring in a sphere, and if you look at it now with the default settings, so it's giving you a size of 1 and max faces, etc., all the things you'd get with the primitive. The size of it is that. To zoom right in to even see it. Now that explains what was going on, which is that was indeed 1 millimeter when that 1 is 1 millimeter. So you could, with your scaling in here, before you validate, you could go back to here. Let me just bring it, I've got the wrong one, bring it to the sphere. You could go size, and you could say 100. Tapping it is easier, and you could just say 100. And then if you validate, and then if you look at it, so that's 100 times a millimeter. So that should be 10 across now. So if you, again, there's a quick way of testing it. You could just put it inside this measuring bar. We'll go snap it to the front. Make sure perspective is off because it just looked a bit odd then. Yep, perspective is off. And then we'll just go back to the measure tool and we'll measure across there. It's white, so that's not helping you again, but as you can see, it's 100.54. So with the inaccuracies of my drawing there, that's about right. So 100 millimeters is obviously 10 centimeters. So that scale factor, when you did it, when you started it, it is reading true, it's reading accurate. So with all of that knowledge now, you can go ahead and, well, I mean, first of all, you could just make your own scaling tools. You could make your own bed size. I'm going to give a few away in the 3D print video that's coming up. So try and subscribe to the channel. And you'll get you'll get all of my scaling tools as I release them with the relevant training courses or the relevant YouTube videos. I'll give away this one, the Mars, just the Mars Elegoo with this video, so you should be able to just have a go of it. And Mars Elegoo is quite a popular one anyway, so you can now just use that, bring it in as a model for every model that you start if you're going to do 3D printing, certainly on a Mars. And don't forget, it's only scaled to a Mars Elegoo. If you use that scaling tool, that's going to be right for all of the small size printers, because the numbers are, rather than the name, it's the number that matters. So it's actually that number of, I think we hid it, didn't we, inside here? So I'll just get it back. So that number there is what I'm talking about, which is the 120 by 68 by 155. That's relevant to any model. It just happens to be that bed size is for an Elegoo Mars. I really hope you're enjoying these videos. We're covering a lot of ground now. We've been doing this for over 6 months, and the channel's growing to, well over 6,500, 7,000 subscribers already. So we're heading for that 10,000 golden ticket number that I'm really, really aiming for. Thanks for joining in so far and keeping with me if you've been with us for the 6 months. We're trying to build the channel and the community around it. So hang in there and join us for whatever, whether it's VR or iPad sculpting or 3D printing or even onto ZBrush, which is coming next. So hit the notification bell after you've subscribed and we can let you know when we drop new content, which generally is a Wednesday and a Friday. Have a great week.